Heath Slater was back on our screens. What's up, maniacs? My name is Max. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac if you will, and today we are talking about Raw. Monday Night Raw was back on our screens and I'm so excited with what happened during the show, and I can't wait to speak to you all about this. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, we talk everything WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Let's get into the review. So it's no secret, you guys know I haven't been very interested in Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler as a feud, which is going to take place at Extreme Rules, but I was so happy with the twist that the story took this week. Heath Slater was back on our screens. Dolph Ziggler brought back Heath Slater. A bit of manipulation there to make it seem like Drew McIntyre had forgotten all about him since his release. And Heath Slater looked so good. He was looking jacked. He was looking pumped. Definitely looked like he's been in the gym training for his next move, which is apparently going to be TNA. We will see how that plans out in the next couple of weeks. But Heath came out and really cut a heartfelt promo. I was there for you when you got sacked, when you got released about 5 years ago or so now. You know, I lost my job earlier this year. I haven't heard from you since. When was the last time you contacted me? You know, me and you are supposed to be brothers. It was a real shock. I mean, just to see Heath Slater back on WWE TV was a shock. And then the promo, like I say, it was so heartfelt. All his years at WWE, we hardly hear from Heath Slater. And when we do hear from him, it's always comedic, and we never really hear promos like this from Heath Slater. So it was really refreshing to see, really good to see how he communicated. And I can't be the only one, it kind of pulled on the heartstrings, especially given the situation that he was sacked under. I think it was just terrific to see him back. They had a match, it was a squash match. I guess WWE don't want to make Heath Slater look good, knowing that, you know, he can soon start work. And of course they don't want to degrade their champion. And then after the match, Dolph Ziggler came and started laying it on Heath like this was your chance, blah blah blah. Drew saw the manipulation. Dolph Ziggler started attacking Heath Slater, and Drew McIntyre ran back down to the ring to save his old mate. They had a moment, threw up their 3MB signs, and yeah, it was just a really different and good way to start the show. Gave me a real good warm feeling inside. It was good, I enjoyed it. Bayley and Sasha came down to the ring to do what they do, tell us how good they are, how brilliant they have been, how they are the women's division, how they're going to take all the belts in the women's division. And Asuka basically came down to the ring and told them, listen, I know we've got a match tonight, I know there's two of you, there's one of me, but I am not alone. And she brings out Kairi Sane. Now, we have all seen in the last few days that Kairi Sane is rumoured to be leaving WWE, so it was a bit of a shock to see her come down to the ring. I thought that through Nia Jax's injury, they had used that as an opportunity to just write her out of WWE, but she seems like she's still around. Is the rumours true? I'm not too sure. If you guys have any updates on that, again, leave it down below in the comments. And like what has been happening throughout this story, Bayley volunteered Sasha Banks for a match against Kairi Sane. First time ever match. We've never seen anything like this before from these two, and it was a really good match. It's amazing to see what they do with Kairi Sane when they treat her right, put her up with opponents her size where she can really shine and show her technical ability. Unfortunately, we did not get a clean finish as Bayley involved herself in the match, so Kairi Sane wins by disqualification. Another twist and turn in the Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio feud, another tag match, but finally it does seem that we are going to get a Rey Mysterio Seth Rollins match at Extreme Rules. Now, I'm not really clear on the stipulation. I know Rey said it's something to do with an eye for an eye, but what is the stipulation here? Is it first person to lose an eye or something? I don't feel that was particularly clear. I guess WWE will kind of straighten out the rules of the match over the next 2 weeks, but yeah, all I got was some type of eye for an eye. I mean, if you guys know, do put down in the comments what you think the nature of the match is going to be. MVP with Bobby Lashley did debut the brand new United States Championship. I'm not going to talk on it because these things always take a bit of time to warm up to. For me right now, the championship design's not bad. It was okay, nothing to scream about. I think it's alright. Is it an improvement on the old belt? I think so. It looks more realistic, like a championship championship, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna reserve my judgment for later. MVP and Bobby Lashley took on Cedric Alexander and Ricochet and picked up a win here. MVP was fighting in his suit, he wasn't ready, but Bobby Lashley managed to do all the heavy lifting for him and they got the win. What I really found interesting was later on in the night, MVP approached Cedric Alexander, how he's been approaching other superstars, and told him, listen, you got to start realizing your potential. He basically told him to ditch Ricochet, roll with him. Cedric Alexander didn't seem to be considering the offer at all. However, I would like to see Cedric Alexander, you know, with a bit of edge. I think often we want to see guys turn heel, but some people actually need it more than others. And Cedric Alexander, his character, it definitely needs something. Guys, please make sure if you are enjoying today's review, you have hit the like button, as it helps more people see this video. So I'll appreciate if you could do that for me. Back into the review now. We had a big 6-man tag match. The Viking Raiders and Big Show took on Andrade, Garza and Randy Orton. I guess this is a bit of an extension of the Big Show Randy Orton feud that we're going through at the moment. And Randy Orton had warned Andrade and Garza that if you guys get up to any of your shenanigans during our match, I'm going to drop you. I'm going to turn to the Legend Killer and drop you. And he even had to pull up Garza during the match on his behavior towards Andrade. And yeah, Randy Orton picked up the win here for his team. I assume we're going to get some type of Randy Orton Big Show match at Extreme Rules. I don't think they've quite announced it yet, but it will be interesting to see what stipulation they bring into their feud, if any. Billie Kay versus Ruby Riott. I love the Iconics, I love what they're doing, but I'm not too happy with how Ruby Riott is being buried here. Like, I am a fan of Ruby Riott, her look, her work, everything. I do think there's a bigger story that's going to be told, maybe with a returning Liv Morgan. But yeah, there's not much to say about this match. Billie Kay got the win. Iconics as funny as ever, and yeah, maybe all we're waiting for now is Liv Morgan to return to help out her old friend in Ruby Riott. And then we get to the main event, Bayley versus Asuka, champion versus champion. Kairi Sane on the outside in Asuka's corner, and of course Sasha Banks in Bayley's corner on the outside. They gave this match a ton of time. It was such a good match. Obviously, you look at the competitors involved, so much storytelling going on. Nikki Cross originally came out on commentary, said she would behave herself. That didn't last very long and was walked out of the arena, or carried out of the arena, by the security. This match was very, very physical. There was a point where Asuka hit Bayley in the face with the back of her fist, and even after the connection you could see Asuka's face briefly like she knew she had hit her hard. Sasha Banks ran over. Bayley seemed okay to continue. Of course, there were shenanigans by Sasha Banks getting involved, but getting towards the finish, we had discovered that Nikki Cross gave Bayley a bit of a fright. When Bayley saw Nikki Cross with the fans behind the plexiglass, Asuka then grabs Bayley for the Asuka lock, tries to lock it in deep a couple of times, wasn't really successful with that. Sasha Banks tries to get involved. Kairi Sane spears her across the ring, and Asuka gets the pin 1, 2, 3 on Bayley. Really good match. Great way to end what was a really good show in my opinion. And of course we are moving on to Bayley versus Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Extreme Rules, and also Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. So that is my Raw review. The road to Extreme Rules is really heating up now. Like I said, I loved the Drew McIntyre, Heath Slater, Dolph Ziggler segment. I thought it was really well done. Heath Slater was a star. I want to see the best for him if he does start in TNA in the next couple of weeks. And the rest of the show built to Extreme Rules really nicely. So that is beginning to look like what is going to be a great pay-per-view. Guys, if you enjoyed today's review, please hit the thumbs up button, give me a like, and if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you have subscribed to my channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I will see you soon.